News with swearing. Daily beans, daily beans. Daily beans, daily beans.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Beans for Friday, July 26, 2019. Today, a new report about Russian cyber attacks. McConnell blocks 4 more election security bills, a Guatemalan travel ban. North Korea launches 2 missiles, an AV Trump troll. Roseo resigns. Barr reinstates the death penalty, and a breakdown of discipline in the military. I'm your host, AG, and with me today are Jaleesa Johnson.
Hello.
And Jordan Coburn.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Oh, lots of news today, and tonight we release part 10 of our special coverage of the Muller report. That'll be on Muller, She Wrote, on that feed.
So much news.
This will have been yesterday, so they can find it now if they're listening to this now.
Oh, yep, true, but it's out there now.
Yeah.
Not later tonight. No, you know what? Don't worry about it. Time is relative.
It's an illusion.
Yeah, we're not just reading the report to you. We're providing context. We'll tell you what's missing, and we take stabs at what's under the redaction bars based on our knowledge of the investigation. So please subscribe and rate Muller, She Wrote and the Daily Beans. That helps us be noticeable to others so that other people can get this news as well. We do have a lot of news to get to today, so let's hit the hot notes. Hot notes. All right, guys, let's kick this off with a story about a new Guatemalan travel ban that Trump is working on. Jaleesa, what's that about?
Yeah, so basically today we learned that since Guatemala is backing out of an immigration deal with the U.S., Trump is actually considering a travel ban against Guatemalans, which obviously reminds a lot of people of the Muslim ban he implemented in 2017. And I feel like we should have one of those calendars that says, like, it's been this many days since our president implemented a travel ban. You know, it's like, it's really his
zero.
thing. Yeah,
It's
zero
always
at this
zero.
point. And a White House official said, quote, "If Guatemala doesn't take significant action to help protect our borders, then we will, of course, look at all manners of solutions to the serious crisis we face."
This is a travel ban, though. These are asylum seekers. It's just weird, like they're vacationing or.
Right. Well, when you realize they're racist, it's not so weird. You're like, oh, I get it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, true.
Also,
Very good point.
yesterday, Trump said that the U.S. was planning to take severe action against Guatemala for breaking their deal, which the deal was basically an agreement that would allow migrants to apply for asylum in their native country, like Guatemala, and to stay there until it was approved, which I think the whole plan was never to approve it and just keep them there. Yeah, while
and
they're
I'm
being
sure
murdered.
I'm sure he didn't give them any money to help facilitate that.
Totally.
either.
Yeah. But the Guatemalan courts blocked the country from signing the deal, so Trump responded by saying he doesn't believe the courts acted independently and that the United States will, quote, take action. Meanwhile, he's trying to free A$AP Rocky. So, that whole independent court thing just blows my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah. And apparently what Trump is proposing may be legal under an immigration law that says the president has sweeping power to indefinitely block the entry of any class of aliens into the United States that he or she thinks would be detrimental to the interest of the United States.
He'd have to prove it, though, and I don't know that he could.
Exactly, yeah. And an immigration expert and activist named Jessica Vonen, I'm totally butchering that, she said, quote, "The president is frustrated that Congress and some lower court judges are blocking his efforts to address the border crisis, and his options are limited, so he's willing to push the envelope to get results."
Yeah, he'll be sued. I'm sure ACLU will file a suit, and it'll be blocked.
Throw it on the pile.
Throw it on the pile.
Yeah, but it is awful for the people who are fleeing, for their lives to know that he's actively working to ban them, as opposed to just saying go back. It's like, this is pretty.
Stay back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So stay back to where you came from.
Yeah, the whole deal, the asylum deal, to have them processed while they're being, murdered.
Yeah. It's totally safe. That totally defeats the purpose of asylum.
Right.
Okay. Just stay there where it's totally not safe.
Yeah. Well, help is on the way.
Rad. Yeah.
I've heard that before in New Orleans.
Yeah,
a whole different issue, though. But they don't care about us. They don't care about really anyone but their own.
Thanks,
community.
Obama. He wasn't in office, by the way.
Exactly.
When that happened, although a lot of Republicans seem to blame Obama for Katrina.
Yeah, because time is an illusion.
Yeah, it is. It's correct.
Man-made.
Like, when is this episode even airing?
Right?
I don't even know. And let's see. Bill Barr, the top cop for the pro-life party, is reinstating the death penalty. Jordan, you have details on this.
Yeah, so they announced, the Department of Justice announced on Thursday that the federal government is going to resume capital punishment. And this is the first time that they've done that in like 2 decades. Since 1988, only 3 federal executions have happened, and there were 5 death row inmates that were named in today's release, and they were all convicted for child murders. So that's what that is.
Wow.
Barr statement released today said that all of Congress as well as the president is on board with this, so he's presenting it as a pretty non-controversial opinion, at least as far as the government goes on Capitol Hill. And I mean, it's unrelated, I guess, technically to any of the stuff that we've been covering. Kind of scary because it's a practice that seems to be being phased out and labeled as inhumane across many developed countries in the world. And
that's
also
mostly why they stopped it, because of that three solution cocktail that was not working and burned people's veins and paralyzed them, and they couldn't tell that they were in pain.
Yeah, so the Federal Bureau of Prisons adopted a regulation that requires the federal authorities to use a single drug. It's called pentobarbital in the federal executions, and the drug is supposedly used by several states for lethal injections, and I imagine that's supposed to address what you just said, that hopefully it's going to be the most humane way of killing someone, which is a huge oxymoron, obviously.
Yeah, like, was it Chipotle, food with integrity?
Yeah.
We tricked the cows, so.
I am very anti-death penalty. So
Yeah.
this bothers me
And many
considerably.
states are as well in the country. There are some that still use the death penalty commonly, like Texas and Alabama, but Colorado, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and California have all issued moratoriums on capital punishment. So this is a step backwards, one could argue. The Supreme Court has gone back and forth on the death penalty in the past. Just for some history, in 1972, justices suspended the practice basically in a 5-4 ruling, and then they wound up reinstating it with another ruling in 1976. And then they further narrowed the situations where capital punishment could be used in 1977. And this is all reporting from The Hill. So
Thank you, The Hill.
Mhm.
Sometimes they're stuff like that.
Yeah. And thank you, Jordan.
Yes, thank you for sure. Thank you
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank you
yes.
always.
thank you always.
Always just thank you. Also in the news, Roseo has resigned. The embattled governor of Puerto Rico caught with his chat pants down. He has finally resigned, and Puerto Rico is rejoicing. You caught this on 1A this morning where, they were chanting, renuncio or, whatever. They were trying to get him to step down. And then when they got the news that he did, like the whole place erupted in cheers like they're watching a World Cup match or something.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was listening to it, I was not expecting it, and the reporting all happened very quickly. But when they played the sound clip and it switched from the chant to immediate elation, essentially, I don't even know if that's the right word. I mean, it sounds like elation. It sounds like vindication. It's justice.
Yeah,
it's all of these things in
Justice.
one sound, and it was so cathartic to hear. I got chills and started getting tears, and part of it is like obviously an empathic catharsis with what's happening in Puerto Rico right now, but also I think sort of a projection of like what it would feel like to have
Justice envy.
justice everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's total justice envy, but mostly, obviously it's solidarity and I personally have no idea what it's like to undergo what Puerto Ricans have been going through
On so
since the
many
hurricane.
levels. Yeah. But at least in that way, we can relate to the frustration politically, and then seeing them be able to overcome that is inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
It's a huge victory, and it's like congratulations sounds like patronizing. how big
for
of like
you.
yeah. Well, just it's such a huge thing to actually have a social movement that is successful and successfully overturns the leader of your land. Essentially, that's so incredibly historic. So today was a hugely historical day.
Got rid of his governor. And yeah, I thought that I was glad that happened too. And I think it just reached a tipping point where he had to go. I do have justice envy as well.
I like that phrase. Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty good. Justice envy. And Trump's new pick for Treasury spokeswoman is a Fox News conspiracy theorist, Monica Crowley. She's also known for spreading disinformation about Obama being Muslim and publicly asked how he could possibly be loyal to Islam and to the United States. She claimed Obama was an Islamic community organizer trying to bring Sharia law to the United States and is a known birther, voicing what she considered to be legitimate concerns about Obama's birth certificate. So this has just evolved into an episode of The Apprentice.
Oh, definitely.
So she's a new spokesperson for the deputy director of, I think, communications, public affairs at the Treasury.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, for Steve. She speaks for Steve.
Oh, my goodness.
Also, 16 Marines have been arrested at Camp Pendleton for human smuggling and drug-related charges. This is only 2 weeks after 2 Marines were arrested near the border for smuggling 3 immigrants to the United States. 8 additional Navy SEALs were questioned about drug-related offenses, and after happened after that whole Eddie Gallagher guy, that former SEAL Team 7 guy, was convicted of taking a photo with a corpse who Trump said he would pardon. There seems to be a breakdown in discipline in the military right now, and I don't know where it's coming from or what it's stemming from.
Yeah, and that's a great example of like two different spectrums of rebelling. And I side with the people who are smuggling migrants in, because at least you're using your expertise for good, even though you're breaking the law. Which is crazy.
If it's good,
totally.
Who knows? They could be endangering.
Well, hopefully they're not taking advantage of them. I just was like, as an optimist, I was like, oh, cool. They're like,
they might be charging them $3,000 a piece, but there's also some human trafficking charges here, so that they might be bringing them in and forcing them into work situations.
Oh, bummer.
I'm not super clear if they're just helping migrants get across. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but I guess that's probably not the takeaway from this.
Maybe. I don't imagine so. But I think that I'm former military, and this is just recently becoming a problem with the Navy ships colliding with people and people getting arrested, and this just seems like a breakdown in discipline, and that starts with the commander in chief, and we know who that is. So I think
Predator in chief.
The fish rots from the head. So.
Oh, totally.
Also, Epstein was found in his jail cell in a fetal position with neck wounds.
Yeah.
Maybe suicide, maybe autoerotic asphyxiation, maybe a guard, somebody rich and powerful got a guard to do. No one knows yet.
I hadn't considered the second one. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know which one would make the most sense. Maybe the guards attacking him because he's supposed to be isolated, and going into jail with that kind of charge is like considered the worst thing, as it should be. So. Yeah,
I don't think the guards would attack him because of what he had done. I'd like to think that, but I would think probably somebody paid a guard to attack him.
Interesting.
Because he's got a lot of rich and powerful people who they don't want him to spill the beans on.
For sure.
I could also see him
suicide
trying, yeah.
Yeah, that's also another possibility that first crossed my mind. But then I was like, I don't know.
That's how it was first reported when the story broke last night.
True.
It was what was an apparent attempted suicide.
Yeah. Which could be the whole point of, if it's a hit squad, to make it look like that. But yeah, also if I were him, I probably would kill myself.
Yeah.
Because you should have done that a long time ago. He damaged so many lives.
Well, he's not very good at jail, as we know.
Exactly.
From his last time he went in, sort of, into lockup, kind of, because the door was unlocked. So he's bad with that. He's a very privileged person. The charges against him make it very dangerous to be in jail at all.
And his life's over right now.
Totally.
He's so fucked, because if he's in, he's a target, and if he's out, he's a target from all of the people he's covering up for.
Yeah,
so,
dangerous games there, buddy.
That's what you get.
Totally.
And a Turning Point employee was fired for putting up an altered presidential seal behind Trump when he addressed the conservative group. This is so funny. I don't know if this is because basically whoever put together the slideshow for the president's being on stage grabbed a presidential seal, and that seal, I don't know if he made it or if he accidentally grabbed it off the internet, or it could be a she. I think it's a dude. I think I remember reporting that they said whoever it is identifies as he, him.
Okay.
And the eagle is holding instead of the wheat things and in the presidential seal, it's holding a bunch of golf clubs. And instead of the normal, I can't remember what it says in Latin on the presidential seal, but it says in Spanish, Trump is a puppet.
Yeah. So how do you miss the golf clubs is what I would think. But if it was a quick little thing, download and upload, but you're doing it for the president, like you would think they would double check, which makes me think they're probably a little resistance person.
That's either an idiot or a mole.
Right. Yeah.
So
either way, it's pretty funny.
But that person got fired. Really interesting. So
yeah, I got to see the picture for myself to know how likely it is for someone to just ignore
pretty
that.
Obvious.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Like the golf clubs are huge, and they look really terribly photoshopped in there.
Interesting.
Or not photoshopped, but drawn. Like it's really bad.
Yeah, I'm calling troll then.
I think troll, personally, which I think is great because Turning Point, F those dudes. But and maybe that's what we have to do as Dems is infiltrate these right wing groups and do shit like that.
Yeah, and he risked his job to do it. So hey.
Yeah, must not have paid very well though. I mean, they probably paid maximum wage.
Yeah, if he's just doing the AV, it could totally have just been a random person unaffiliated with Turning Point.
Freelancer. He's like, fuck this job. Fuck you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But what the employee said is, it was an accident. I Googled presidential seal and I picked the first one I found. And he put it up there.
Okay. I mean, or he has a really good cover.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I think
convincing.
I want to. I kind of want to Google presidential seal and see if that. I'm sure that would be the first one that comes up now
Was he on
because of the
Bing or
story.
something? Yeah.
He's on Bing.
Their algorithm's a little wonky.
He asked Jeeves.
Yeah.
and that's what
It's
happened.
the first one that came up.
And finally, you guys, we have some news in the wake of Mueller's testimony yesterday. 2 days ago, if you're listening Friday morning. Patrons, by the way, if you want to get these the night before they come out, you can become a patron. Sign up at patreon.com/thedailybeans. You'll become a patron of both shows, Muller, She Wrote, and The Daily Beans, and you'll get early release of this episode. That's why we kind of have this weird time. Tomorrow is yesterday situation happening. But if you are listening to this as not a patron, you're getting it Friday morning. And as we know, the Mueller testimony happened on Wednesday. But despite what Mueller said in his testimony, McConnell has blocked 4 bills on election security. And that's including when Christopher Wray testified before the Senate Intel Committee this week, saying Russia is currently attacking us. And in a new report, 67-page report from the Senate Intelligence Committee, led by Republican Barr, says that Russia is and will continue to attack us. They are right now, specifically the 2020 election, with the goal of weakening the confidence in our electoral process. They want to sow chaos. They don't care about Trump. They want to weaken our democracy. The report also says that Trump told the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, there was no threat last year, no threat from Russia, stand down. But DHS disagreed. His own DHS disagreed, saying they had evidence that we were being infiltrated actively. But Mitch McConnell says the reason he's blocking the bills is because they were written by Dems who perpetrated the Russian interference hoax. But we know it's not a hoax. We have the FBI and the NSA and the CIA and all of the rest of the intelligence agencies agreeing early on that Russia infiltrated our elections. We have Mueller's indictment of the Russians, not just the Internet Research Agency who trolled us on social media, but the ones that came over here and pretended to be Trump campaign officials and the ones who hacked and stole the materials from the DNC. We have Mueller's testimony yesterday saying when they asked, like, is Russia infiltrating our election? He says, yeah, as we sit here right now.
Yes.
Right now, as we sit here.
In real time.
And these are all Republicans, guys, and they're all screaming that Russia is attempting to interfere with our election. I think even Lindsey Graham has a problem with this. So despite all that, McConnell's like, it's a Russian hoax. The Dems wrote the bill. They perpetrated the hoax. The conspiracy theory, called it a conspiracy theory that Russia interfered in our election. So that's your Senate Majority Leader. And also in the wake of the Mueller testimony, more Democrats have come forward to support impeachment. So don't say it was useless. Call your reps. Now is the time, especially during their 6-week summer break, which starts, I think, on Monday. They're going to come home, go to their offices, tell them what you think, tell them you want impeachment, and call your reps and put the pressure on. Nancy seems open to it now, more open than she did. She came out yesterday.
Yeah, she's like, the line is open. Just call and let us know.
And today she said, she made it public, go ahead, support impeachment if your constituents want it. So we need to show them that we want it. So call your reps and go to their offices while they're on break and make sure they know that you want this president impeached and that it's their job to hold him accountable, just like Mueller said in his report. And a source has said Jerry Nadler has actually floated the option of drafting articles of impeachment. I don't think they should draft the articles yet. I think they should open an inquiry and do a full investigation and then draft the articles when they have all the evidence, that solid case that Pelosi keeps talking about. But she has given the green light for representatives to call for impeachment. She was trying to keep them quiet before. But some people believe the window is closing. I disagree with that because they're about to go on summer break. I think the window is opening for you to contact your reps because they'll be at home and they'll be at their offices. Yeah,
it doesn't close until 2020, right? Until November 7th.
And there's no clock on the constitutional duty of impeachment. Like you have the right for to impeach the president through Congress, but only not after summer recess. There's not. It doesn't say that.
Right.
So don't listen to that, and also don't let the Mueller haters get you down. I've been hearing this a lot today about he seemed off his game and he was not a strong and confident. They wanted a TV personality to deliver the news, and they got Mueller, and everyone's like, he fucked it all up. He didn't fuck it all up. We've got more people supporting impeachment. We've got more Americans supporting impeachment, although we haven't seen the polls yet, but I feel it. And we've got now cries and this Senate Intel report to help protect our elections from Russia in 2020. That word is out. I think a lot of people, if anything, didn't know, even if you don't blame Trump at all, and you say he was an unwitting clown in this whole Russia thing, and Russia is the bad guy. More Americans know that now and will want to protect, I hope, the integrity of our elections in 2020. So,
Good point.
don't let him get you down. Justice rolls slow. Mueller was awesome, I thought.
Yeah.
It's probably a little tired, but, whatever.
It was a long day.
He got a pumpkin spice latte in him for the second one, though. It seemed like that kind of put a pep in his
Does he
step.
have a secret stash of pumpkin spice
I
lattes
just
that the
assumed
rest of
so.
us don't have access to?
It
Because
was like
that
a
is
boxing
privilege.
match. Yeah.
That is privilege I won't abide. He shouldn't have access to pumpkin spice lattes in July.
They have them on deck. Now, I had a feeling that somebody was feeding it to him or like giving him a sip in the middle, like a, boxer, like hang in there, buddy.
Oh, yeah, squirting it in his mouth. He spits it out in a bucket.
Yeah.
You definitely got
Cut
a pep
me,
talk
cut me.
between
Oh,
those
yeah,
two
yeah.
testimonies.
That second one was so good.
Yeah.
And I really thought they should have put the second one first and the first one second. Dems made a lot of mistakes. Tried to warn them. They listened to me, not me specifically, but they did listen on the how to break down the obstruction of justice questions. Yay for that. If you want to talk about what surprised me, a couple of Republicans. Hurd was like, tell me about Russia interfering in our elections. He's a Republican.
Yeah.
He actually wanted to legitimately know about what he found with Russia and how they're influencing our elections and how they're still a threat and continue to be a threat. And that's like, as we sit here today, they're a threat. And then, of course, Ken Buck, Republican from Colorado, though I think he did this accidentally, asked Mueller if he would charge the president after he leaves office. He's like, yep, correct. He's like, so you would charge the president for obstruction of justice after he leaves office? Yep. Which to me is an admission that he committed crimes of obstruction of justice, and he has evidence. The evidence in the report is enough to convict him and not just obtain a conviction, but sustain it, because that's one of the rules for federal criminal procedure. But he didn't redact that one. He didn't correct that statement, but he did correct that other statement at the end of Ted Lieu's situation. So it's just interesting, and I just have this dream inside of me that Barr is trying to get him to change that statement, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna change my statement. I don't worry, you're not the boss of me.
Yeah, basically.
So anyway,
Very cool.
Yeah, very legal, very cool. Do you guys have any final thought? There's a lot of news today.
Oh yeah. Remember, today is tomorrow's yesterday.
I love it.
Deep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We should do a quote every day, like for the Daily Beans. Final thoughts, just some crazy.
Oh, like a daily weird quote.
Yeah.
I do think we should keep beans on the Epstein stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Major beans.
Just the
Yes.
whole suicide potential thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. That seems like a major story.
And the
right
George
now.
Nader stuff. I think he's going to get another indictment.
Yeah, because my first thought was, either way, whether it was him or someone else, that's indicative of how big of a deal this charge is.
Totally.
Mhm.
And this
Even
is
Bill
something
Cosby
that's
only got like slapped with, I think, a bologna.
That's a
sandwich or
good
something.
point. Whether he tried to kill himself or whether somebody else did it, this is a big fucking deal.
Someone's
Mhm.
terrified. Yeah, whether it's him or otherwise.
I hope Julie K. Brown is safe, the Miami Herald reporter
Oh no,
who
yeah.
broke all this. I wonder if she's going to have to
Get protection.
go into hiding.
If she wants to make a GoFundMe, I'll donate.
Yeah, you want
security.
to come out to San Diego? We need some good reporters. Union Tribune.
Oh yeah.
We need somebody there.
Toast.
Not nearly as cool as the Miami Herald, so.
I know. They're kind of conservative.
They're so
True.
conservative.
But
Yeah.
they did endorse Hillary. That was the first Democratic candidate they ever endorsed. The Union Tribune, yeah, in San Diego.
Yeah, when faced with,
Trump.
yeah.
Even they were like,
There were
fuck.
a lot of conservative papers who'd never endorsed a Democrat.
Mhm. They're like, look what you made me do.
Yeah.
They're like pissed off at Trump. Yeah.
Look what you made me do, you crazy orange man. We don't endorse Democrats here. Oh, wait. We do now.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, cool, guys. That's it. Those are the beans today. We got through it as fast as we could, and not as fast as we could. We didn't rush it on your behalf, but we're trying to keep it under 30 minutes so we can get it all to you during your commute. We've been sort of going over that rule a little bit. The Mueller testimony, though, come on, we had to.
That was a lot. Yeah, yeah.
It was a lot that we wanted to talk about, but yeah, please, guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Self-care. Have a nice day. Have a bath. Have a glass of wine. And
Yeah, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, technically, was International Self-Care Day.
Oh.
I should have mentioned that.
Today is National Carousel Day.
Whoa. National Tequila Day. was
Really?
recently,
I
too.
have it in my calendar.
Carousel Day.
My husband loves carousels.
Let's do that every day.
Really?
Yeah.
For the Daily Beans, we should figure out what day it is. Because there's always some holiday. Every single day has a random
We should
holiday.
celebrate
Yeah,
it. My
yeah.
birthday is National Penguin Day.
Ooh, there's
Whoa.
National Wiener Dog Day, you know?
Oh, I love dachshunds.
Yeah.
Hmm.
They're so very cute. I love wiener dogs.
Yes,
And
yes.
especially the ones that dress up like hot dogs
Oh,
with
my
the hot
goodness.
dog bun
Yes.
costume.
It's so like morbid, but like I mean, it's not them, but like it's just an animal wearing another animal. It's just crazy. Yeah,
He is the animal in it, though.
that's true.
As my dad called them, the lips and assholes. That's what hot dogs are made of.
Adorable.
I don't know if adorable is the word I would use, but it'd be funny if you named your wiener dog Lips and Assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
support.
know if you have a wiener dog named Lips and Assholes. Email us at, what is our email address for this?
Lips and assholes.
Tips at
The Daily Beans Pod.
I think it's Daily Beans
at
Pod.
Daily Beans Pod.
Yeah, this is an anonymous tip.
No, it is
I thought it was
thedailybeanspod.com.
the
So
Daily
tips
Beans,
at
yeah.
thedailybeanspod.com if you have a wiener dog named Lips and Assholes, or something that has to do with like nitrates or something that has to do with the ingredients in a hot
Yeah,
dog.
very
I'm
specific.
dying to know,
requirement
and
here.
I want photos. So
Yeah, might have one listener out there.
you guys have a great rest of your day. We are traveling to Chicago. Have a good weekend. We will be back Monday. We will be recording from Chicago while we're there, so we can get you the beans on Monday morning. So again, please hug it out and love each other, because it's important. We need kindness right now. I've been AG,
I've been Jaleesa Johnson.
I've been Jordan Coburn.
and them's the beans. The Daily Beans is produced by AG, featuring Jaleesa Johnson and Jordan Coburn, and engineered and edited by Mackenzie Mazzell and Starburns Industries. Our marketing manager is Sarah Lee Steiner, and our merchandising manager is Sarah Hirschberger Valencia. Fact-checking and research by AG, Jaleesa Johnson, and Jordan Coburn, with executive assistance by Amanda Reeder. Our music is written and performed by They Might Be Giants. Our web design and branding are by Joelle Reeder with Moxie Design Studios, and our website is dailybeanspod.com.